All right, so what we're going to work on is invoices. And a lot of people use QuickBooks. I use QuickBooks because that's what my CPA prefers to use. But being able to make sure that you have your finances managed properly within Wix is also very important because you're able to sync your QuickBooks with your Wix, right? So you want to be able to make sure whatever's in Wix is done properly. So I'm going to kind of go through exactly how we can set up these invoices, right? So we're going to click on Get Started. And when we click on Get Started, right, one of the first things going to pop up is the invoice, right? Invoice page. But now, like, there's information here as far as the logo and things of that nature. So what I'm going to do is go over to leave without saving. So what I'm going to do is go over here, and then you're going to see business information, right? When you click on business information, this is the information that's pulled in so that now way it can populate on the actual invoice themselves, right? I didn't list an address this time around, but I do have my email there. So that's why you see my logo and my email there. No phone number because I wanted to keep this simple. So that's why you want to see that information here on the actual invoices. But if you want to add your address, you can add it. You can add your phone number, fax, all those good things, right? So let's go back to invoices. Click on Get Started again. And now you'll see again, the information is just right here. So all the information from the business info section will present itself here. And you'll also see here sales representative and then PO number. Now you're able to also add in some additional custom fields here as well if there's something specific to your company. Now you're saying, D, how do you do that? Well, let me see here. Leave without saving. All right. Okay. So I'm going to go over here, go to settings and then invoice and quotes. And then you'll see here invoices. Right. So you have the header detail, right? Invoices, edit logo, issue date. Now you'll see here that you can be able to check in and add get a tracking number, reference number, SO number, or you create a new field here. So these are the two fields, the PO and sales representative that I have highlighted here. So that's why it populates there in the invoice. While we're here, let's go through the business information. You can also, again, this gets pulled from the business information section, but you can also add some custom fields here as well. You can display the tax breakdown best how you see fit. So you got an additional tax column or tax breakdown in the total section, which is what I prefer. Or you could do it per item, depending on your business and the needs of your customers. Payment received, so transaction detail, you do want that. And then the footer notes, that's if you have any terms and condition or any specific notes for that specific client. So here are all the different options as far as being able to edit the actual invoice section themselves. So if I go to invoices, right, I'm gonna click get started. I'm gonna close this because it's gonna bother me. So you'll see here in the sales representative. So what I'll do is I'll type in Dimitri and the PO number is 90210. And if you're old enough to remember the TV show, you're probably gonna live an amazing life. All right, so I'm gonna click on contacts. Let's click on good old Bill. So you'll see here that the business name, email, and phone number already populates. So we're gonna give this invoice a title. We're gonna say web design, right? Web design. And then you'll see here you got the product or services. So let's do a little drop down. You'll see I have the booking services that I already have built into the system, or I can add some new invoice items, right? Or I can see one more here. So these are the booking services, but I'm going to add a new one. We're going to call this web development work, right? And this is work done for clients on an hourly basis. All right, so the price for that is $150. It's not really, but you know what it is. All right, so you have 150 here, right? So you have the quantity where I can add this, let's say 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, right? So it ends up being 600. And then I can add the tax here, but you would have to set up the taxes. The way that I set up my business, I do a little differently. But if your business required taxes or the V tax or anything of that nature, you can add it per item right there. So you can add another line item right here by clicking right here and add a secondary line item. You'll see here also you have the subtotal and then 600 and invoice total. Now it allows you to add a discount. which is basically a percentage. So let's say I want to give them a 5% discount, right? So that's $30. You can also request a deposit in the form of a percentage or dollar amount. Let's say we need 50% up front. So now you'll see the deposit due is $285. So when the client receives the actual email, they'll see a deposit request for $285 with the remaining balance up $285. And then you can add additionals here. And if you want, you can, if you added this to the settings section, it'll populate here. But if you wanted to add, like, edit or change it, you can here for each and every single invoice themselves. So you'll see here that this is the invoice, right? And then you'll see a little preview button right here. We're going to click on that preview button, and you'll see here, this is what it'll look like when it's sent to the client, right? This is the invoice, and the invoice will obviously have a pay now button where you'll be able to enter in your credit card information and be able to pay. Your clients will be able to pay the invoice easily. So this is what the invoice looks like. I think it's pretty simple, clean, and intuitive. So dealing with invoices can be extremely simple within Wix itself, right? Now, let's go ahead and leave without saving. So now once someone actually makes a payment and pays for the actual invoice or pays the invoice, all payments should populate here, right? And then once you have the payment, then you'll have the payouts, right? Exactly how much is being paid out at what time. And then you'll have a settlement report where you'll be able to tell exactly on a weekly, monthly, or even yearly basis how much money was paid out to you through your merchant processor, whichever one you decide to choose yourself. So that's an overview of invoices and how they work and how to edit them and how to change everything that you need to change.